What's up, everybody? My name is Tim Schrape, and welcome to today's daily. Welcome to today's. That was a little joke on the nice community that is the IGN Daily Fix boys. Anyway, Lawrence, aka CoreDusk, has been contributing to the project. He has introduced Elm UI, and let's go over some of the changes just to see what it looks like right now, in fact. So let me just, maybe I should in fact start the UI by going like this, and then go npm start, I think. Oof. That's not what I wanted at all. I would have hoped it would have opened this in this browser. Yo, look at this. We've got a new website, basically. Yeah, look at this. Nice. Where passionate, trashy nerds align their goals. And we can enter a username here, LeadSniper69, or my name. Register. Ooh, we got a bad gateway. That's because we haven't started our dev server just yet. So let's do that, shall we? I think it's called something application. Yep. Let's run it in debug. And then that would run our backend so that our frontend can connect to that. Oh yeah. Look at this swag, by the way. Look at this awesome swag. This is LiveCoder swag, which is really nice. They sent me this shirt a while ago, in fact. And I think this is the first time I've been wearing it. Or I've worn it, I should say. We've also checked that we in fact do get good exception messages as well, because that was a 502. It just listed here. This works perfectly. And then what would happen if our backend, in fact, throws an exception? I remember last time I had introduced a custom exception handler for that. This one. That basically translates all of these to their normal messages. But I don't think we actually need that, because when you do this, then just the message gets put in the body anyway. So if we restart our backend, then we should also get this message showing up in the front end, hopefully. And if that's the case, then yeah, that's great. And we can go over, the changes in the UI for that. All right, so once I've registered, apparently I can register again. But now we get a timestamp and this kind of ugly thing. So maybe we do want to return our custom exception here. And restart our server there. And normally the plan is as well for CoreDusk to arrive, and then we can do some pair programming. That would be great. I've we haven't really agreed on, here we go. This is a message from the backend that will be shown in the front end. There we go. Cool. So both of these things, they all work. So yeah, let's see what that looks like in our UI now. So I think before why the heck? Elmi. No, we don't want that. I just want, I only want this one to be opened, in fact, huh? So, I think I know why that is. So my Elm is complaining about the fact that all of these are not imported yet, or non-existing probably. So what I'll need to do is run an Elm install on my machine. Elm install. What is that? Elm make maybe? Just so that I get those imports. Maybe help. Just Elm. What would bump do? That's not it either. Dang it. Maybe that's not the problem then. What if I do an npm install then? Would be strange, yeah. Maybe my let's look at the elm.json file, because I expect that, yeah, there we go. I guess then we just run our make command again. Elm make with I think it's source main resources and then source main resources. No, Elm and then okay. Elm main.elm. It created an index.html, which is not something I expected. But maybe it did fix IntelliJ's packaging stuff? No. Yeah, so this one I don't need. So let's get rid of that. What to do? Maybe we could try an npm install? Not sure why that would help though, but you know. It doesn't seem to do anything either, so. Yeah, so I'm quite sure that this is the issue that the Elm UI is not installed. Maybe if I try to manually install it or something, then it is already installed. Yeah, maybe, but it's IntelliJ is not recognizing it. Why is that? Unresolved reference element. Do I need to maybe refresh the Elm tool window? Maybe just refresh it. Aha! There, I fixed it. It was as simple as that. Cool! Okay, so now that we've got stuff compiling again, let's see what changed. This basically looks the same. That means we can look at the rest of this stuff. I remember, or I've already gone over a bunch of his changes. And he introduced a user instead of a nickname, but that's okay. But I think the main difference when he introduced Elm UI is the view. So instead of just getting a regular HTML back, we now have a layout which is part of Elm UI. So Elm UI is hey Bugrimov, Alex, how are you doing? Yeah, so the main idea of Elm UI is, let's think again, what did I want to say about it? Basically, it's a different way of approaching, or different approach to creating HTML pages, and it's opinionated, so it's got its own way of thinking about how to assemble really a layout or an HTML page. There's a good, I mean, CoreDusk shared a good thing on that, a good YouTube video, which I'm going to share in the chat real quick, which is really cool actually. You can also find it in the main documentation of the, what's it called? Of the Elm UI package for Elm, which I'll also share. There we go. Yeah, right. So now I think everything, also CSS is now encoded as functional types. So you can use the declarative properties of Elm for that as well. But I believe that there still is a CSS somehow. No, maybe this can go because it looks like there's like a to-do MVC wrapper, which we don't need at all anymore. Yeah, so don't really understand all of it though. But yeah, that it looks cool what we have already. So it looks a bit plain, but I think that's fine. Did I, in fact, yeah, this is how it is zoomed in. So this is what it looks like in a normal way. But the footer is already looking quite okay, yeah? Nice. Yeah, so I was going over what we needed to do as the next step. So I think try to use Elm UI. I think this is done. Next up would be event sourcing. So like one thing we were going to look at is get event source or something. Event store, that's it. Eventstore.com. There's like a quick start part in there. Event store DB. There's also cloud for that. But yeah. Get started. And I think there was let's see, yeah, like you fill in some kind of wizard, and this creates something. I think, I'm not really sure. Yo, something happened and I'm not really sure what happened, but I think if my eyes don't deceive me, it's our good friend Dito. Thank you for whatever happened. I'm sure it's something really cool. How are you doing, man? Yeah, let's see. If we use this, then I mean, this looks very complicated, all of this stuff. I don't think we need a cluster. I think we can just use a single node. HTTP port, sure, this all looks fine. Maybe I should rather look into how to run this as a Docker container, maybe. Then, good to see you coding. Yeah. I also think it's great to see me coding. This is just a joke. Sorry. No, yeah. I'm not really coding just yet. But yeah, doing our best. Getting there. We're still in a setup phase of a new project I'm trying to do with a buddy of mine who's also a Diabotical player. And we're building a website for hosting a ladder competition for the game that we play in Diabotical. And we are building it custom because we can't really find something that we can buy or use that allows you to create or fit in your own custom point system. So that's why we're building it custom. And one part of the thing is that we want here we go, Docker container. One thing we wanted is a way to retroactively apply a different algorithm, because the people that came up with the algorithm aren't really sure how it's going to evolve, basically, and they want to try out like, let's say you've got like 1 point system where you just get points for winning matches, and then eventually they'll come up with something like, this isn't really working out, let's try something different. And that they then just build a new algorithm, basically, and we need to be able to retroactively run it through whatever happened before, so that we then can see the end result, like what would happen if those kinds of scenarios. So yeah, and for that we're looking for some way to store our events, and looks like we've got an event store DB as a thing, so that's cool. And I also think that initially right here it said something like event store cloud, so maybe if we could use in preview. Okay. Maybe we should also look at we also have the Terraform provided. That's going to be good as well, because infrastructure as code I was going to write in Terraform as well. Ready in minutes, but where is the pricing? Is it just free for everyone? What the hell? Get an account. Have you used Elm before? I have, but only on a pet project, literally a pet project, in fact. There is here a kata that Jan Sabbe came up with, which features our chickens, or our past chickens, I should say. But it's really cool. If you just follow this one, you'll get a great idea on how Elm works. And it goes just a little bit farther than just a tutorial. But yeah, right now we're using Elm UI, and Elm, if you look at Elm UI, like those benefits, it's, you know, like it's I'm wondering why haven't I used it in a product or in a production project before. Because it has all the advantages you would really want anyway. So I guess the answer is the same reason I haven't used Kotlin in a production project before. That is being that, of course, I'm not the only person developing. So yeah, either people need convincing, or it's just not something that fits in the quality attributes of the project that I'm on. So if we have to hand over the code at the end, then people usually want a programming language that is used by more people than the people that use Elm or Kotlin. Although Kotlin is increasing quite a lot, eh? And we've got great support by the Spring community as well. So yeah, bright future ahead. I was looking at pricing, right? I wonder where, maybe I just search for pricing or something. Oi. Pressing enter, nothing happens. Click the button. Price. Jesus. Because I mean, if it's going to be too expensive, then I don't want to bother trying it out. Right, I need to turn off Do Not Disturb. I was lucky that the Slack notification didn't pop up on the main screen. Derp. I can't seem to find it. Ah, here. Enterprise custom. With the paid support plan. Look at this. So I guess this is all just paid support subscription. So this looks like support, but what's involved for me? Event Store Cloud. I mean, preview is fine for us. Once set up, you can request full access to provision resources and input your billing details. Okay. But I want to know how much it costs before I do all of this, right? Wadu. This looks nice. Yeah, I mean, oh, maybe here. Dang it. Well, I guess we'll just start off with the Dockerized version of it. And then decide if we want to move to their cloud platform or just run it on a VM somewhere. Aight. Let's check this out. So does it work with an SDK? Do you plan to deploy to Heroku? Well, I actually don't really know yet. That's like an honest answer, because maybe let's check out the Miro board. Oh boy. Let's open a new window, maybe somewhere, just new window. Then I think this one, this should have, yeah, me logged in already. Great. We'll open the Miro board and then I can more easily, I don't think it's way ahead, honestly, because thinking ahead of how we're going to deploy is quite important on how your components are going to look like. So here's like our general container diagram that it's going to look like maybe in the very end. So we will have a separate UI application which is just running somewhere. We've made the decision already to actually use Elm, so let's update that in fact. Which will just be deployed on an S3 bucket somewhere. And then our Spring Boot Kotlin application is going to run maybe on a Kubernetes. I don't really know yet. Then we might have a relational database, which is running. Okay, my preference is for it to be on Postgres, and this should contain ladder management, teams, roles, matches management, so all of the management stuff. And aside from that, we'll have an event stream as well, which I guess what we're looking at right now is event store. Yeah, so the purple thing here is what's important. It needs figuring out, which is what we're doing right now. And maybe we'll also end up creating a GraphQL read model to really load this in a super fast way. Now, I think this is like the picture, what it's going to look like once we've verified that it's a thing that's going to add value to the community of Diabotical. Now, initially, what we are going to do, maybe I should actually make that a little bit more explicit. So if I can just, yeah, bastard. Go like that. So this is what it's going to look currently. So we'll just get rid of this. The UI is just hosted on the same thing. Plus UI, and we'll have this, and then this can just maybe I should have done it the other way around. There we go. Hopefully, I think I'll just first get rid of this simple arrow and then point this thing towards you bastard. Oh, now I can't even select the... Seems like I'm lucky with... or you need to be lucky with hitting the actual box or something. I don't really... Ollie. Anyway, as long as it's... There we go. Oh, come on. Yeah, nice. This can go... So it's going to look sort of like this. So everything in just one deliverable, being the Spring Boot executable jar. Yeah, with everything in it, huh? Yep. Contains logic to perform actions and commands, contains the algorithm strategies that can read from the event stream and then project to GraphQL. That's not a thing anymore. Project to the RDBMS. Oops. Just like that. Yeah. undo. Maybe let's try it again. Okay, what the Banelinks? Oh. It seems like if you wanted to snap, then it sort of targets this outer box as well. Let's lock it. Anyway, yeah. So then that means that this here projection, let's call it projections, because that's like the technical term for that thing. Oops. Okay, just like this. Nice. And then we'll connect this one basically to this thing here. There we go. So this is like our keep it simple container diagram. Maybe I should call it that as well. So basically our initial thing, and this is like full-blown super scaled container diagram, which is what it might look like in the end. So I'm not familiar with event streams. What does that give you over just another events table in the relational database? Yeah, so higher throughput for one. But other than that, I'm not really sure. I think the way I thought about it was just, I think I want something a little bit more cleaner than just to have a little bit better separation, you know? Like if you've got specific software that stores your events rather than just your database, then it makes it a little bit easier to understand, to get in your head. That's just an assumption anyway. But yeah, that's what I think, at least. Maybe could be wrong. Maybe we'll just get rid of this in the end and then just use Postgres's times, because they have a time series thing as well, huh? If I remember correctly. Apparently it's a plugin. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's either that, and then also I noticed that my t-shirt says that we're sponsored by FaunaDB. Maybe FaunaDB is also a time series database. I'm not really sure, in fact. So maybe I could get some input from the LiveCoders community supporters or sponsors, in fact, to help me out with this thing. That could also be like a very cool collab there. But yeah, so I don't really know about FaunaDB. That's why I've just chosen stuff I know already. So maybe actually it's going to be a better idea to first host the event stream in Postgres. I'm not really sure. But yeah. Aight. What's out there? So maybe the thing I wanted to do though is document that decision a little bit at least. And what we have for that is we've got a captain's log. I don't remember what date is it today. The 18th. Deciding which persistence software to use for storing our events. Nice. CoreDusk just mentions that he's back. So yeah, let's see our options. So our options, just use PostgreSQL. They've got a time series plugin. So that's a one option. Use event store, and maybe with a link or something. Okay, you've just got CoreDusk in the call. I mean, I'm going to start a call with CoreDusk. Hopefully the levels are okay. Not really sure. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
All right. Say hi to the stream. Me? Yes, I do. Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah, man. Hi stream. Hi Tom. Hi Scalp.
Yo, yo. yeah, please let me know if everyone can hear CoreDusk good enough, because otherwise I might have to change the desktop audio a bit, I think, because I am also streaming music, but maybe I should just shut that down already and then up the gain a bit. Can you say something again?
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check. There we go.
Professional audio.
Professional audio, yeah. I'm completely not tested as well. Great. Yeah, they're Roland says that the levels are fine, so that's good. That's good.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I was just going over a bit about how the Elm UI thing you've done already works. It looks cool. I've got it compiling. I've got it running on my machine. So that's cool. Right. And then yeah, the next thing that we need to do for the what's it called? The walking skeleton basically is to use some kind of persistence mechanism for storing our events, right?
Yeah.
And we've got some options, and thanks to somebody in the stream, they suggested, hey, why don't you just use Postgres instead of event store, which I don't know. But then, yeah, I don't really know Postgres either. And then there's like a third option, which is to use FaunaDB, which is an actual option because so I'm part of the LiveCoders dev community, basically, which is just a community of Twitch streamers that do live coding. And they're sponsored by FaunaDB. And we might get someone from FaunaDB themselves to give like an explanation on how their software works and maybe help us a bit out with the project. But
sick.
Yeah, that should be pretty cool, but it might stall our progress a bit. Huh?
What progress?
Yeah, so that's a good argument. What progress indeed. But I was just listing like some of I was about to list the advantages and disadvantages of all the options. I think like one main thing here, if I just look at the things, is that we really need to make sure that we've got a good abstraction layer to store our events in this database, and whatever database that we choose, we need to have like a good abstraction for that.
So it's gonna be event based, but stored in a database, or?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm a super noob. I'm a MySQL boy. I have no idea what's going on. I'm very excited.
Can MySQL also host time series data?
I have no idea.
Apparently there is a thing, but yeah, I don't know what the features are. In fact, I think to do this properly, we should probably do some better research on which thing to use. In fact, but at least now we know some of our options.
Yeah.
I'll also.
By the way, I also forgot to mention anything in the captain's dialogue book.
Ah, yeah. What?
Elm UI.
And yeah, okay. What?
I didn't write anything.
And was there anything to write? Did you make any decisions other than the fact that we're now using Elm UI? But I mean, that's like a.
Well, you can kind of combine. You can kind of combine Elm UI with CSS and or other styling frameworks. But at the moment, we just completely got rid of CSS, basically.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And I don't know if we're going to hit some restrictions regarding to, I don't know, animations or fancy styles that we have to do in CSS. But at the moment, it's just completely 100% Elm UI.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Let's do that. Let's stick to that at least then, for as long as we can. I see you've done this on the 16th, so... I mean, I've just added a title for it.
Nice.
Because reasons. There we go. Actually, just because it's the simplest thing, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And
it
we
looks so
get
interesting. I got so excited. And changing the code was just so awesome. I could just delete something and then just see what happens, and it tells me exactly where everything is used, and it's so not JavaScript. It's insane.
nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited to do a bit more with Elm.
All right. Yeah, maybe that's like another thing that we could do, in fact, is to just try and do a code kata to I guess either in Elm to, you know, like further strengthen or bolster our Elm knowledge, or what we could do is to do a kata on with Kotlin then on how to do event sourcing. Allez, just maybe it's not exactly event sourcing, but it definitely will give you the idea of or a good idea about the benefits that it can give us.
Yeah, that sounds cool. And have you thought more about the test driven thing? Is that something we're gonna do in this project, or what do you think?
There's no question about it for me. So
nice.
yeah, I mean, like I said in our call before, like I just can't do it without it anymore. So
Beautiful.
I mean, yeah, yes and no. Huh? I mean, sometimes they get in the way, the tests, but most of the time I'm very happy that they are there. Even if I wrote, like I already did a hobby project before, and I was super happy that I had tests because like it spanned like an entire year. So I had tests to fall back on, like what was my reasoning back then. And then I could notice, well, right, that's a thing. I even wrote a test for that. So yeah, so it helped myself as well. Event. I was just writing a commit message. There we go, and then we can just push this. I know that IntelliJ has a feature to help out with pair programming, in fact.
Oh, right.
Called Code Together. And
it's a plugin, right?
It's a plugin indeed, and maybe we can just use that to try and do some pairing on at least then we've got like a safe way to test it out. What do you think?
Cool. Yeah, man, I'm installing it already.
Cool. And then I think what we'll need is the maybe event sourcing. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, E is not going to exist. This is fine. I was gonna check out this repository that I have to do a kata in. Here we go. In event sourcing and Kotlin. It might need some updating to newer Kotlin though. But yeah, I'm also going to update my Code Together plugin if that's necessary. Code Together plugin. Okay, I don't think it needs updating in fact, so that's nice. And hopefully it's also available for the community edition. Huh? I mean, I figure it is.
Should be.
Yeah.
I can just
you can install it.
Yeah, I got it installed. I just gotta enter a link.
Okay.
And then should be good to go.
Coolio. I'm going
there
to.
Are some noobs in the viewers because yeah, some other non-professionals that I can relate to.
I think probably. I already had event sourced Magnum Sal checked out apparently, but I think there are more branches? Ah, quick attempt. That's the thing I needed. Quick attempt. Oh no, I haven't set up my PC completely to check out. I like to have all of my Git aliases. How do you go about that actually?
I don't use it yet. I don't have Git alias.
Ah, yeah, okay. I know some people they have like all of their aliases or like their entire Git config on a gist somewhere. Like on GitHub gist thing.
Yeah.
And then they use that to wacht, terminate this application. That's all fine. Right. Ah, and RGM asks Elm transpiles. So yes, it does. But it also has a compiling step. So before it transpiles, it compiles, let's say. And then once it compiles, you can transpile it as well to JavaScript, which then hosts everything. .files repo. Ah, a lot of folks use a .files repo for stuff like that. So they'll have, that's what RGM says. It's a good idea. So not only have your git config, but then, yeah, other config, I guess. Let's see. I think somewhere here there should be a way to go together. Ah, here. Start hosting a session. I think before I do this or click on this button, I'm going to go to like a secret screen so that I don't accidentally share stuff that I don't want shared. So I'll be right back for the stream.
For me, it looks a little different though.
Different how?
I just got a button in my toolbar here where I can generate a link.
Ah ja. I've got here. Ah yeah. Here. I've.
Okay.
That. Yeah. Hopefully, if you connect to that link, then you can join. So you do need the Magnum Sal repository checked out, I think, before you join. I'm not really sure actually, because I think what it actually does, it will start up a different IntelliJ executable.
Oh.
I think, that's what it did last time anyway.
Okay,
but yeah,
weird.
Let me know if. Oh, yeah, I see that.
This is actually open it in the browser.
Ah, in the browser. Holy fuck.
That's weird.
Can you type?
Wait, it's stuck.
Okay, I think this
because
is.
I want to join in my IDE.
Yeah, I imagine that.
But if I use the plugin, nothing happens.
I think in the plugin somewhere you can say join remote session or something. It also uses the pairing lingo apparently, because I am driving with Lawrence. Edit on your own, it says. I guess that will cancel the session.
Weird.
Driver has changed. Huh.
I don't get it.
Ah, oui. I wish I could help you out by looking at your screen or something, but.
Do TeamViewer to install the pair programming plugin.
Yeah. or use.
But I think I need a different type of link in order to join from within my IDE. I think.
Ah.
Because this just does nothing if I use this link.
Okay, hang on. Huh?
And I am in the browser, but I see nothing there.
Exiting presentation mode. Maybe if I click on this edit on your own thing. What the paintings?
Wait.
Yeah, I clicked on something that says you're editing alone.
Okay.
Stop
Wait,
session, maybe.
Are we sure we have the correct plugin both?
Yeah, that's like a thing. Hang on, Code together. My version is 3.0.1.
Wait, actually, I just installed a completely different.
I need to update apparently as well, so I'll update. That was weird. It didn't say.
That was called Code with Me because it was much more popular.
Yeah. That's a different one, huh?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I have to restart my IDE though. Restart. Yeah. How's the chat doing? Lots of folks in here apparently. All excited to learn about Kotlin and Elm and event sourcing and all of those cool things. All right, plugin update installed, code together. Here we go. I guess I'll try it again.
Oh wait, I gotta make an account first.
Ah.
Give me a sec.
There's also a Kotlin plugin update available apparently. But I think yeah, that should be like a a good try is if we can run some tests in the already existing code base. So my if you're wondering what the sound is that you're hearing now, that's my my MacBook lifting off.
Okay, so my IDE is frozen right now.
Oi! That ain't good.
Just love IntelliJ more and more every day.
Honestly, you're one of the first people that has had such a bad experience with.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprising. Okay, let me just force shut it down. It doesn't even work. Okay. It's gonna be a long day, man.
A long day. Because triple T. Yeah.
What, triple T?
Yeah, I don't know the rest of the how the sketch goes, but you know, like triple T, terrible Terry Tate, office linebacker.
Wait.
No, you don't know it. No,
No?
we need to. I'll share it with you. This has been oh. The heck? You killed a Joe, you make some more.
Hey, Laura.
Oh man, I'm such an idiot. I think I lost the password that I just generated for my.
They reset password already then.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe you haven't seen Triple T. Here it is in the chat. Anyway, I think I'm also a bit ahead in what the fuck? So I have the quick attempt branch checked out, but it's too far ahead. I just want this one checked out, no? Quick attempt, first attempt. Oi. Let's go, because I remember preparing this this branch or this repository, in fact. And we've got a quick start branch. We've got also an event migration kata, but that's not something that we want to do. Maybe we can just start from like the master again and then go from there. All well. Difficult to choose, fucking hell.
So I don't know if it's me, but when I click that join link through the plugin,
yeah,
yeah, my IDE kind of freezes.
Oh yeah, but I have stopped the sharing again, so let me start what was the code together?
Or maybe you have to like enable me to
Start.
do something.
Okay, hang on,
I'm gonna reboot my IDE. What's this?
Okay, copy invite URL, and then I will share it with you again. Here you go. So I hope it should be okay now.
Let's see.
But yeah, I'll need to reset my branch. Oh, stream even. Oh damn. Authorize. Oh. Is it working miracles?
Failed to create a local project that represents the session.
Poopies.
Okay. Is anything happening? So it failed.
Balls.
How about we try the other plugin?
The other plugin. Which one is that?
Code with me.
Code with me. Let's try that. Go together, stop. Then I'll go to plugins. Yeah, code with me. Wait. You're right. Actually, Code Together was the other one. Code Together was the non-JetBrains one. Code with me is the JetBrains one, in fact. So if I do code with me, where's that thing? Code with me. Maybe I actually, maybe I did use that one to start a session.
I'm confused.
How the hell start session? No, that was Code Together. Okay. Where was that thing? Here. Code with me. Oh, now it opens in my other IDE window. Hang on. And copy invitation links or. Okay. the fuck? Okay, hang on, eh?
Yeah, I got some time.
Link copied. Send it to people you want to join. There we go. So that's why it wasn't.
Appropriate version is being downloaded.
Aha. Aha.
Something is happening.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, waiting for host approval.
Accept.
Oh.
Ah, voila. You've joined. Some.
Oh yeah, man.
Is it?
Oh,
It's working.
White team for me. Fuck.
Ah, wat? Hoe kan dat nu?
I guess it's just separate. Let me fix it. Nice though. Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I guess I'll delete my quick attempt branch then. Oh no.
Cool. Okay. This is crazy.
Fetch all the things and then check out quick attempt again. Hopefully that'll work. Now this.
Oh, this is a bunch of stuff
Voila.
already written.
Okay, nice.
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So I've restarted the branch, let's say, to a state where we can actually do the kata again.
Right.
So what I am going to do as well is maybe start a new branch from this one so that we can commit our changes on it as well.
Sounds good.
So let's call it quick attempt with CoreDusk hier. Hoppa.
Cool. Okay, so
I just
it's
checked.
gotta-
All right.
I can't use
Yeah,
the
okay.
terminal.
No, that I don't think you
It seems
can.
like I can just...
Yeah.
Wait.
But we can start coding normally, yeah? Ah, I can see your cursor as well. Okay, I'm gonna switch to presentation mode so that people can actually read something on stream. And then normally we should be able to run this test. So if I run it, it's still saying like something like Gradle download or whatever. Indexing paused for some reason. So we can't actually run it yet or what?
It seems like I have a lot less access. I can't seem to run anything.
Yeah, I can't run anything yet either. But yeah, if you want to run something, let me know, then I'll just do that.
Yeah. Oh wait, I can actually hit build. That does do something.
Okay, nice. I think the reason why it broke was because I checked out a new branch, so it had to rebuild. Now it should be runnable. Hopefully, yeah. Can you try and run the test? A player can be added test?
I don't even see that anywhere actually.
Your cursor is in it, in the file.
Wait, I only see 2 files in the tests, which are Magnum Sal test and shaft position test.
Yeah, and if you can you run Magnum Sal test?
No.
Ah, true. I can't do that though. So if I run them, can you see the results? Oi, what the hell? Not connected. What the fuck? What does that
Give me
mean?
a second.
Strange. Alright, at least the test failed. That's good, but I think I want to run it
Oh, here it is, right?
faster.
Oh my god.
Ja, voilà. Where would it say that tests? I know that there's a like if you want to run your unit test, you can choose how to run it or how to run them.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Maybe it's in JUnit or something. Preferences. JUnit. Yeah, no, that's not what I wanted. Hello. Build execution. Maybe it's over here. Running tests in the Maven thing. That's not it either, I bet.
This can't be a plugin, right?
What exactly?
To just run tests.
No, it's built into IntelliJ, but I know that there's like a place where you can configure how to run your tests.
Oh, okay.
But I can't actually seem to find it. Maybe it's part of Grail then or something. Yeah, voila. Run tests using Gradle. No, let's choose IntelliJ. And then we can, if I run again, now you should be able to see the results. Hello.
Oh, yeah. I see him. Okay.
It says again, running not connected. So I don't know if, I don't know where it's coming from, in fact, that message.
Looks good to me.
Oh, wait. And you can see the result, or what?
Yeah, I can see that. The test has passed for me.
I need to ban some people. Hang on. This is so annoying. Look at this, yeah, holy fuck, man.
We got some viewers.
Yeah.
You pay for these?
I don't know how to get rid of these fuckers, actually.
Yeah.
And it's so tedious to ban them all. Like, I know I can configure, what is it, like Nightbot or something to get rid of these for me. And I always keep postponing doing that. So I always keep on having to ban them manually. But yeah, here we are. I'm gonna quickly go out of presentation mode to check where that thing is coming from. So if I run the tests, it'll say, on the run, error running build event sourced Magnum Sal not connected, it says, but connected to what?
To me, I think. I think I ran that.
Do you have the same error or what?
It's stuck. Build event is it didn't never finished, and now it's in a stopping state.
Yeah, I can see it now. Stopping build event sourced Magnum Sal.
Yeah, I don't know why it's stuck.
That I also don't know. That's why probably then. Oei. Yeah, I mean, the kata is no good if we can't run any tests. So, how do we want to fix this? I could stop
But
sharing
can
or
we
something.
actually? Yeah, we can see each other cursors and type, right?
Yeah, that's true. But if we can't run any tests, then we can't really
I
do
saw-
the kata. Huh?
I did see you running a test. No. Can you run them again?
I
did see them.
yeah, I can't because the stopping process is
Oh shit.
stalled. So that's the whole reason. Maybe if we stop the session and then restart it again or something, then we can.
Yeah, I can disconnect.
Oh yeah.
And let's see what happened. Oh wait. Let me check something. No. Okay, disconnecting. Waiting for process detach. Because now there's a test running as well, which is not finishing.
God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna.
So I quit.
Ah, you did quit. What the fuck?
It worked.
Okay.
So, are you still having this?
Yeah,
running?
it's still running indeed. Okay, I'm gonna quit IntelliJ and restart it real quick. Yeah, sorry, Alex. I'll fix it as soon as I restart it. I needed it to debug a bit on what was going on, in fact. Maybe you happen to know. There was a Gradle process that was running infinitely. Okay, let's see. So before you join now, I'm gonna try and run the test, and then hopefully it should be running with IntelliJ instead of Gradle. And we can win some speed there. And then once that's up and running, I'll invite you again to a session. And then we should be good to go.
All right.
But you know, these are like things that we how do you say that? We have to go through anyway, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like a growing pains, I guess. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I've run the test, and now it's running the build apparently. And I wonder if it's remembered that I want to run tests using IntelliJ instead of via Gradle.
Because for me, it opened a whole new IDE when I connected to you.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my plugins and preferences installed, so
yeah,
it's possible that it changed the setting.
Ah, yeah. Oof. Ah, it is running via IntelliJ now, so that's Gucci. Then I shall start the session again. Sure. Oh, here's that thing again. All right, link copied. Pasta. And then once you've joined, CoreDusk joined. So now if I run the test again, we shouldn't have a stalled process anymore. Ah, voila.
Cool.
Yeah, you typed hello.
Yeah. And I tried to run it as well.
Ah, yeah, hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, now it. Yeah. Can you run it again?
Yeah. This is slow.
I didn't. Can you try it to run it again?
I did.
Okay.
Creating tests, and it's very slow.
Maybe it's trying to run it on your end then. But I
Lost
get.
framework quit unexpectedly.
I guess I'll have the tests run
Yeah.
whenever you want.
All right.
Woohoo! Okay, we are ready.
Yay.
So welcome, welcome CoreDusk.
Thank you.
We So what we'll be doing, maybe I'll explain a bit to you and the rest of the stream as well. So this kata is about mimicking the board game of Magnum Sal. It's a board game where you mine salt and then deliver it to the Emperor of Poland, who will then give you money or zloty in return. And it's a really cool game, actually. And I was inspired by Thomas Koopman, who hosts an event sourcing projections workshop, basically, where you learn to play with projections. And projections are just reading out an event stream and then creating your own objects by replaying the state. So you can choose and pick and choose whatever you need from those events. And this kata is basically the same. And the main problem that we're going to do is defined in the quick start kata. So it says it takes about 60 minutes, but it might take less, it might take more, it really depends. But in any case...
Depends on how much I suck.
Or how much we suck, I should say, eh? Because it's...
Well, you did it before, no?
Yeah, of course, I wrote the kata, so I know how to do it. But still, it's a team effort, eh? It can go however we want. But so...
Yeah.
The main goal is we want to implement what is called the chain rule, and the chain rule goes like this, or the order of events goes like this. Player 1 places a miner in the mine shaft's first spot, so like the top position. Then the same player places a miner in the second spot. Then that same player removes their miner in the first spot. And you shouldn't be able to do that because that's what the chain rule says. The chain should remain intact whatever you try to do. So
chain of miners.
The chain of miners, yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, if there's no miner in the first spot, then there's no way to bring up the salt that you're going to mine anymore. Right. So in the real game, you've got multiple people, multiple players, with each having their own miner in the mine shaft somewhere. And together, they should also retain this chain rule, let's say. So it's okay if there's at least one miner, regardless of who the miner belongs to, but as long as there is a miner present there, it's okay. So that also...
Is it a 1 versus 1 game?
No, it's you can play it with up to 4 people.
Okay, and everyone's miners always have to be connected.
Yeah, in the mine shaft, yeah.
Okay.
It gives a complete different meaning to shaft again, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no shaft accuracy in this game here.
And also, yeah. No, I'm not good.
So what I also supplied for this kata is a helper class called mineshaft position, which already has some validation and util functions. So and it says that'll prove useful. Check out the tests to see how it works. So if we open the mineshaft position test and we do like a command F12, we can read what or how it's supposed to work. So for example, a mineshaft position has to be between 1 and 6. So now we know that it's going to be 6 deep, let's say. Huh? And then the next function, if you mineshaft position 6 and you click and you perform next on it, then it just returns mineshaft position 6. Right. If it's not 6, then it will just return the next position. So for example, 1 will return 2, 2 will return 3, etc. If you do previous, it's the same. If it's mineshaft position 1, then it will return itself, and otherwise it'll just do like -1, let's say. And that's about all we got for utility on this mineshaft position. But that we can use to our advantage in our tests.
Okay.
So if we then go back to our Magnum Sal test, it starts us off with the test called a player can be added. And if you run it, or if we already ran it, but let's do it again, in fact, then it will say not implemented error, an operation is not implemented, add an event to the event stream. So we've got like a little bit of a helper thing. If we follow the stack trace, we also find the to-do. So where we need to do, actually implement something first now for this test. And the test, if we read it, we first build an event stream, then we build a Magnum Sal game basically, and we pass that event stream to the game, so we know that the game requires an event stream to work. And then what it'll say is when you call add player with a player name, which is just a string on the game, then we assert that the event stream now has an event called player added, and it has the name that you passed as an argument to the add player.
Because we call this add player function.
Yeah.
So where does this player added come from?
Well, apparently it already exists, the player add. Otherwise, it wouldn't compile. But if we command B on that, we can see where it resides, and it just resides in the Magnum Sal file, because in Kotlin you don't necessarily need to, and it's just like an Elm, you can just write classes, types, whatever you want in a single file and it won't complain. In Java it's a bit different. Typically there you use one file as one class or one file as one type. But here in Kotlin you don't necessarily need to do that. So here, good question. So let's say that player added wasn't a data class and then we omitted the data word. Then if we would implement it, it still wouldn't work, because what data class actually does, it provides an equals and a hashcode method based on its internal properties. And what we say here is that player added has a single val or a single property called name, which is a string. So if you create two player added objects and they both have the same name, then they are also both equal to each other. That's basically what data class says.
You just don't have to write your getters an equals function.
Yeah, it doesn't have any actual getters basically, or yeah. If you compare it to Java, it's a data transfer object, but or if you would rather use DDD or domain-driven design terminology, this is what is called a value object. And value objects are immutable. So basically that's it. And it has some getters available to it. And the only way we want to set things is by using the constructor, in fact. So that's something we need to take care of ourselves.
Right.
We don't really want to enforce that. And then the other thing that you want to, you can just ignore, but a player added is a Magnum Sal event, which is, and then a Magnum Sal event is just an interface event. So that's just some helper stuff. But so if we just read the to-do, it says add an event to the event stream. And also if you look at the test for it, we expect that after we've called the add player function, that the event stream now has a player added event with that snarf as a name. So
okay, but the event stream is still something, it's a different class here.
Yeah, but the event stream is passed along to Magnum Sal. So what should we write here in the to do? Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so unbelievably confused.
Mm.
Okay.
It says to add an event to the event stream.
So we got it here, right?
Yeah.
.add, I guess, or I got no code completion.
Oh, are you serious?
It's just very slow. Oh yeah, I got some. I got copy push. I guess it's gonna be push. What else is here?
Yeah, it's push. Yeah.
Why? Well, there's so many functions here.
Yeah, because it extends. In fact, that the event stream is really just a list, I think. But push is a function that we've declared ourselves. But yeah, that's
add an event here.
yeah.
So I guess I want to add this one. Wait, can I access this Magnum Sal event? Wait,
So
what do I actually want to do? Oh no, I want to add the add player event.
Yeah, the player added event.
Player added.
Yeah, that's correct.
But that's not defined.
Yeah, it is though. It is. Yeah.
Oh, that's this.
Yeah, that's that one. Yeah. Yeah. So sealed class is a way to do polymorphism basically, but like in a stronger way. It really closes everything off, so you can't from the outside let's say extend Magnum Sal anymore, or the Magnum Sal event. I mean, you can't extend it from the outside. You need to declare it inside your sealed class itself. So that's why player added is a data class which extends Magnum Sal event.
Okay, but wait.
So you were
very confused.
Yeah. So really, it's okay. So you already wrote it. You only need to complete it now.
I need to add the name. So
Yeah.
this is going to be the player name.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't get it. So in the test, we check if the event stream contains a player added. What is this called? Is this called an event or an event stream?
That is an event. That player added thing.
An event, right? Okay. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a Magnum Sal event, and a Magnum Sal event is defined here.
Yeah.
But this line, I just don't get it.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
Why isn't it just like it's like a Magnum Sal event is just an event which contains a player name? Why isn't it just like this? What is this whole thing?
So that's a concrete type, the player added class. Because event is just an interface, and Magnum Sal event is a more concrete implementation of that interface.
Yeah.
And just so that we've got which one usable type, which is player added.
Okay.
So player added is a Magnum Sal event.
Yeah, this is so weird.
Yeah, the notation is a bit strange. Maybe if I would write it as Java, it would look like this a little bit. Extends Magnum Sal event, and then it would have a private final string called name, and then it would also have a constructor. How do you write that again in Java? I'm blanking. Is it?
I don't know either. I haven't written traditional programming language for a long time.
It's so
pleb languages. I only wrote noob languages like JavaScript, PHP, man.
and then there's also a get name.
what does compiling even mean?
So this is what it looks like in Java. This player
Yeah,
added
this makes
class.
sense. Okay.
Yeah, and then also you also need your boolean equals,
Oh,
which is
yeah. This is just right. This is just happening behind the scenes because of this data thing.
yeah, because of data and also because of val.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And so here you've got a construct. Actually, you can use it as a one-liner because so the data aspect takes care of this part. So both of these functions, that's what the data class is doing. And then the val name, that's basically this. So the field declaration, the private final string name, the getter for it, and actually also a setter for it, but I don't want to make that apparent.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that's happening here is because you say player added open braces, that's already the constructor. So that's also this part.
Wow. Okay.
So that's why instead of in Java, you write this on 9 lines.
Mm-hmm.
In Kotlin, it's 1 line.
It's very pretty.
Yes.
Okay, just maybe
Yeah.
one more thing. Like
Yeah.
this is also weird because it's like
Yeah.
like you define yourself here.
Yeah. Wait. So really, what happens in Java as well is this. You call super. You call the constructor of your other class, which is this one. So if you want it complete, it's so looking like this. That's basically the entire thing in Java.
Okay. Well, so shouldn't it extend? Oh fuck. Okay. Shouldn't it extend the event then?
Nee. Because we want our player added events to be actual Magnum Sal events and not generic events.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so
cool.
that's good. So now we rerun our test and we expect it to work. Mm-hmm. And I think you can go, we can just do an add import and then we already have like the full thing, right? Now we just have a simple player added implementation.
Yeah.
Nice. So then that was our first test. What should be the next thing? Because now we want to write a new test. And our assignment is player 1 places a miner in the mineshaft's first spot.
Wait, where do you see that?
Yeah, wait, I'll share.
You wrote out a little assignment.
Yeah.
Or like the game rules.
Yeah, that's where you can. So I pasted where you can read it. Just nice. The assignment, but also you can read. I think in the README of the project. No. There is like a quick start.
The rules.
Quick start. There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're following the quick start rules or the implementation that we should follow.
Okay.
So now that we've got a player, we've registered our player and they joined the game, let's say, then player 1 places a miner in the mineshaft's first spot.
Yeah, so something like a player can add a miner.
Yeah, in the first spot, I think. But then, you need backticks.
Because I'm So I'm new to this. So do we want it to be specific, or do we want to write separate tests where one test is okay, you can place a miner somewhere, and the second one is you can place it at a desired location, or I guess the first test is just not necessary?
Let's go with this. A player can add a miner and then we can see what we need for that. Huh? So
That's good.
how would you like to do this? Like, what does the test implementation look like?
Well, I would say, okay, actually, I don't know how this works either. So do we have our player here, or do we need to like step 1 add a player? How does this work?
I think that works the way we've done it in the first test there. Huh?
So because this test is run before we have a player.
Ah, no. So all of those tests, they run separately, independent of each other.
Okay. So then this is the first step, or am I wrong?
Yeah, it sort of depends, but you can just write because a player can add a miner, but what would that look like? So this is already good, yeah. Player adds a miner, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I guess.
And then what do you expect?
Oh yeah, a miner is added into the game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, sure, yeah. That's good. And then
see how natural it is to me to do
it. Now you just need to, instead of write comments, write code so that it gets set up.
Okay, so we can just we can just do the same thing, right? So,
yeah.
We start with our event stream, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, this doesn't type very easily. I also don't have the event stream. Jesus.
Not yet. Yeah.
Oh, can I do it like this?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Juicy.
But so you don't need the named parameter here because Magnum Sal only has one parameter, which is the event stream. So.
Right. So we're gonna add a player, Boris.
Boris. Duh.
Well, we gotta test the same thing. Isn't that dumb?
I don't know. Why do we need to assert the same thing?
We have to because we tested in another test.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one would be. Well, okay, I'm again confused. So how can I actually, because I don't have my player, like player.add miner, that doesn't exist, right? Because
but we don't want to add a miner. The way you've written it like now, it looks like you wanted to add a miner to a player, but we want to say that a player places a miner in the mineshaft, really.
Which is just an event.
It will turn into an event the moment the command has happened or the action has happened.
Okay. So I want to place a mine, which will be...
Place miner, you mean? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, and then I need the player and the location. Or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't have a board, or I don't have a game, or I don't have a concept.
So Magnum Sal is the game, basically.
Okay.
So since we've added a player to the game, it figures that we can also place a miner to the game as well. Right. And I'll also give you a hint. The mineshaft position is going to be our way to represent the coordinates, or where in the mineshaft you can place a miner.
Oh, we already have a mineshaft position.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we got previous, next, range 2.
Yeah. But the mineshaft position takes care about a bunch of rules already for where you can place a miner already. Which are valid positions, basically. That's the only thing that it has.
Like this.
Yeah.
And then I need to... My code completion really sucks somehow.
It's too bad.
Oh, at is an integer. Wait, isn't this a board with a like a chessboard? How does this board work?
What does it look like, you mean?
Yeah, where can I place stuff for?
Yeah. You can just imagine for this part, for this full kata, you can just imagine that there is one column of 6 tiles underneath each other. and the top
Oh yeah,
the
actually
top
also-
tile is tile 1, and the bottom tile is tile 6.
Okay. Oh, and then it goes to the left and the right of that height of
Yeah,
digging down.
yeah, but only on on the even numbers. So on 2, 4, and 6, we've got actual corridors.
All right.
But those we don't even need to take into account yet. Because
Okay.
for the quick start kata, we only have just a single mineshaft and a single player is enough.
Okay. Okay. I'm still so confused. So this doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
Because here you just created a normal
Yeah,
normal variable or a normal object.
yeah, yeah.
But it's not an object.
Yeah, it is an object. A mineshaft position is an object. It just represents the mineshaft position at 1.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So how can, but my player is not an object.
That's correct.
So how can I pass my player to this function?
Yeah, why does it need to be an object?
Because I want to reference it in this event where a certain player will place a miner in a certain.
Yeah. So there are two things we can cheat around this a little bit. One thing would be to just use the player's name.
Yeah.
So Boris places a miner at POS. And then the other thing to cheat would be not to even pass a player at all, because our quick start kata just limits everything to we only have one player in the game, in fact.
Oh, okay.
So you don't even need to consider it. We don't need it to do validation or anything.
Okay.
Because indeed, if you were to start to implement it a little bit better, then you do need to validate that it is indeed Boris that is placing the miner, and also that it's Boris's turn, in fact, to place the miner. Yeah, but we're skipping all of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's up to you what you want to do now.
Is it possible to? Because. Okay. So I guess instead of adding a player by string, I would have a class player and then, or whatever, and I would then pass it here on the event or something like that.
Yeah, you could do that as well. Yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's it. Oh no, now I need to check. So then I need to assert that
the event stream
contains exactly miner added position, something like that.
So you'll need to capitalize the M, because that's going to be an object that represents that event. So I already like that you use the past tense to represent that, but it's not miner added, I don't think. You want to use the language that is used in the README now, the domain language, let's say. So miner placed is much better.
Oh, right.
And then now it sort of depends. So if you pass the player's name to that place miner function, then I also expected that the event contains it as well, even though we don't really need it.
But this is still kind of so here's another. Can I ask more and more questions?
Because of course.
Going really slow like
this. No, this is good. Yeah.
Everything is so new to me.
Yeah. This is fine.
Okay, so we're writing a test, right? To see if everything works the way we want it to.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point of, for example, this position? We implement it in a certain way, and then we place it based on this position, and then we test if it's equal to this position. But that's always going to work, because how can we, how can this ever fail? Like, let's say we implement a completely bogus position,
Mm-hmm.
but we test it here, and then of course it's going to be added here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the purpose of testing this?
I mean, you assume that that's true because you will write the code yourself, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why we're writing the test first is so that we can get an idea of how it's going to work. And I agree that place miner's implementation is going to be super simple.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that it's already shown us is, first of all, are we going to name our method? And then we saw that it needs to be place miner because that's the language that the assignment uses. We've also named our miner placed event just like that, because now you can see them both together. Huh?
Yeah.
And then we also got out of it that if you are going to have a function called place miner that takes a player and a position, then you also want your event to have that player and a position.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already taught us quite a lot.
Okay. Interesting.
I would also rename your function, because there it still says a player can add a miner.
Oh, right.
And so even more concretely now, if you look at what your test implementation actually does, it's more concrete than what you've explained in your test function's name. Because the function's name just says a player can place a miner.
Oh, right.
Anywhere, basically, but it's more concrete. It's at position 1.
Oh, because that's literally what we're testing.
Yes.
I don't want it. So you would write a test for every position?
Maybe we will get to there. We will get to there. But first, let's make this compile, okay?
Yes.
So the first thing. So now, are you going to delete? Nice. I love that. You could delete it, or you could have just let it stay there because it's comments, but you've expressed it in your implementation well enough, huh? Nice.
Test here, but I don't think it goes through.
No, that's impossible because it's not compiling. So first we want it to compile, and we want the test to fail.
Okay. Oh, wait.
So first, let's make it compile. This is fun. I like it.
Is it?
Yeah, I like it.
So it already doesn't compile, of course, because we don't have a function place miner.
Yes. And,
yeah, of course. So
and
now
you can use Alt Enter to generate this method for you.
But I changed to the VS Code key mapping.
Yeah, that I don't know. What's that? You need quick definition, I think it's called, or tips or something like that.
Well, okay, it says a bunch of things.
Or
extension function, create member function.
Yeah.
But wait.
What does it what does it say with more actions? What hotkey is that?
I'm actually not sure. And you can just hover.
Yeah, you can hover.
And then I have the context actions. Oh, control dot.
Control dot. Okay.
So it says create extension function Magnum Sal place miner, create member function Magnum Sal place miner, or rename that.
Yeah, let's do member function.
Okay. Well, nothing happened.
Oh.
Wait. But shouldn't it be in the Magnum Sal file?
Yeah. So normally, if you chose create member function, then it will add it to as a function to the Magnum Sal class. Ah, there you go.
Does they work this time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
now part of this is compiling. We don't want to implement stuff yet. You can just leave the to-do thing there because then it will compile as well.
Oh, it will compile. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even if it returns, if you say that your place miner function should return something, normally your compiler would complain saying, hey, you need to return something, otherwise it won't compile. But if the to-do is there, then it will also just compile.
Right.
Yeah, so this is why you need an externalized event stream as a variable, so that you can check it directly.
Okay, and then this one also doesn't exist, of course.
Yep.
But this I have to do in the...
Yeah, that I think you'll need to...
No.
Yeah, because the choices that you'll get are... I mean, they don't exist properly. So we'll have to go to the Magnum Sal class. And then underneath player added, we need to have a miner placed. Yeah.
Wait, it was called miner...
Miner placed.
Dude, what the fuck? What is this file? These miner placed. So, and what is this called? Oh fuck, I lost the other file. Okay. And what is this called? This miner placed?
Yeah.
Is this an event or is this an stream?
No. It's also an event. Yeah. We only have a single event stream.
Wait. And so actually, I'm defining different. So every event is a class.
Yeah.
I'm defining a ton of classes within another class, which is weird.
Yeah. You can look at it as an enum.
Okay.
Where you'll have more concrete implementations and different constructors, etc., for your specific values of that enum, let's say.
Okay.
And miner position, I think you'll need to import.
Position, right? Wait.
I think it's called not miner position, but mine shaft position.
Yeah.
Because it indicates what a valid mine shaft position is, and not necessarily where a miner is at. So that's a different concept.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
So
and
we got two event defined.
Yeah. And then in our test, you now have that event, but then if you run, and that's a build, but if you run the test, it should... I don't know yet. I saw the compile going off, but I haven't seen the test run go off yet.
It worked before, but it doesn't seem to do much now.
I can run it if you want. Then, okay, here we go.
Okay, of course it fails.
Yeah, and it fails because an operation is not yet implemented.
Exactly.
So then we will go to Magnum Sal and then implement it. And try to implement it just enough that our test succeeds.
Yes, because I need to check again what we want to happen in the test.
Yeah.
Okay, so first we add a player, but that's something else.
Yeah.
And we just place a miner. So we want to place a miner with a name at a certain position. So first off, I'm gonna need my position, I think. Oh no, actually I just need to push the event here.
Yeah, exactly.
We just miner placed with the string. Well, this is not actually, this should be called player name.
Yeah, you can also use the rename.
Oh, right. And we do it at position.
Yeah.
So, but this is unresolved reference.
Yeah, you can import it.
But it's defined right here.
Yeah, but it's defined outside of Magnum Sal. So the way how do you say it? It's not because it's in the same file that it's accessible directly.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. If you can, if you imagine that Magnum Sal event is in a separate file, it would start to make a little bit more sense.
Yeah. That was really easy. That was much easier than writing the test.
Yeah, yeah. But so now, if we run the test, now we expect it to work, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you come up?
Oh, it doesn't work?
Oh, it doesn't work. What the fuck?
Some elements were not expected. Player added.
Ah, yeah.
The event stream also contains this event.
Yeah.
But now I don't know if this is a... Like, is this because we shouldn't expect this exactly this? Is it a problem with our test?
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
We just do contains then.
Yeah, because, I mean, we don't really care all that much about the order. Huh? Just because we're just ignoring whether or not a player is added or not, huh?
Yeah.
And now we've got this function called place miner, but what can go wrong with it? Now we need to come up with some side effects.
Okay, so
just for example, already, can a player add a miner at position 2?
Yeah.
And
no.
Yeah, okay. No, and why not? Or yes, and why not?
Because we define the position right here.
Yeah.
So, but if we call an event place miner and we just pass a different position,
yeah,
we add it in a different position.
So
is that a problem? I don't know.
Just wait, hang on. I'm going to copy the test that we wrote, and then say a player can place a miner at position 2. That means this also turns into position 2. And then do we expect this event to be there? So with keeping in mind that every test runs independent of the other.
Yeah, so that should fail because there should be first one at position 1.
Okay, so I like that. So a player cannot place a miner at position 2 as a first miner placement or something. I don't know how to call that. So this is going to be our test. Okay. And the way we're going to write that, I'll just, because I'm assuming that you don't know assert chase way of testing that. So the way you can do that is by writing assert that thrown by, and then this is the thing that we expect something to throw, has message.
I already have more questions.
Yeah.
Why does it have to throw an exception? Why can't we just nothing happen, for example?
That's another thing we could do as well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's another thing we can do. That's also fine for me.
If it's the first move and someone passes it on position 2, we can just force it to position 1. We can just expect it the game to force it to position 1 because that's the only valid first move.
Yeah. But then I would rename this function a bit to explain more what we wanted to express.
Yeah.
Because now it just says cannot place.
So we could say a player's first move has to be... Oh, that's actually different. Is forced to position 1.
Yeah, first miner placement then, I guess. Because,
yeah.
I mean, a move is a bit too generic for me. Yeah, okay, nice.
True.
Cool.
Okay, so
nice.
Now we can test it as well. So we put it on position 2, and then we just place it, and we just and we just expect it to be on position 1.
Yes.
I need to add a new position. the correct position is position 1. Right?
Yeah.
We expect it to be at the correct position.
Yeah, and then it's a mine shaft. Yeah, nice. Now run it.
Yeah, I still can't seem to run, so you can just
Oh
run
yeah,
it.
okay.
It just does nothing.
I will run it, huh?
Yeah.
And the test fails. And why does it fail?
Well,
Because we expected there to be a mineshaft 1 for Boris, but we've got a mineshaft 2 for Boris.
Yep.
Nice.
So now we need to make it succeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is already I guess a problem because we do want, but I guess we write that logic later that we're able to put a miner on position 2. Right?
Yeah, as like a second action or something, you mean?
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that right now. We can
No.
just write the code that only allows us to put on position 1.
Yeah.
So if pause, well, let me just check this class. Range 2 to string. How can I actually check this position? Does it have a getter?
I don't know what you want to do, so...
So I want to check which position it is.
So that sounds like an equality check, eh? So for that you can just do double equals and then a new mineshaft position of 1, for example.
Right. Oh yeah, that's actually...
And then without the new keyword.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if the position no is not mineshaft 1.
I think now you've got the triple equals.
Yeah, JavaScript style.
Yeah, and that's not Kotlin style indeed.
Okay, but this doesn't work. Val cannot be reassigned.
Yes.
So we gotta,
yeah. So that's the immutability thing about the val. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, so can the actual pause is pause, and then I can assign this. Does that not work?
If you make it a var, then yes.
And this does not work.
No, because that's declaring a thing. But what you want to do, if you want to declare the type of the actual pos, then you use a colon after the actual pos.
Oh, right. TypeScript.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. But you still need the var or val keyword to say that the actual pos is a variable. Huh?
Right.
But so now we're using mutability, basically, yeah? Because, yeah. And, it's a good practice to avoid this as much as we can.
Right. But why? Because we just created within this function. It doesn't alter anything.
That's true, yeah.
But no, but it's just a bad practice to do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
you don't actually really need it, because what you can do is you can inline it as well. Because if you say, well, if my position that gets passed is different from position 1,
you can just push
then you just push position 1, exactly. And otherwise you push with pos.
Wait, this is not correct.
No.
Position is not 1, then we push 1, and otherwise we push... God damn it. Otherwise we push... Wait.
Yeah, so now you... so at line 19, you're trying to create a miner placed with an integer instead of a mineshaft position. And on line 22, you're trying to create a mineshaft position with another mineshaft position.
I'm so fucking confused. Okay, wait. Oh man, I can't handle it anymore. This is so simple, but I'm so confused. Okay, so we place a miner. If the position does not equal position 1, then we actually want to push miner placed, player name, with a new mineshaft position
Yeah.
of 1.
Okay.
And if it's if it is 1, yeah, we can just do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want right now.
Yes. Yeah. It will for sure
That's
get our test screen.
But we're gonna write more tests
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. So now our tests are green, but I'm going to run all of the tests now, just to make sure that everything stays, keeps on running. Nice.
Yeah.
So that's good. And now we need a new test that says, well, if you add yet another, or if you add a second, I guess.
Player's miner placement. No, just the player can place a miner.
The second miner, then I guess.
Oh yeah. But can you only? Huh?
Minors in the mine. That's child labor, man.
Exactly. Chain of miners. Sounds weird.
Sorry.
So, okay. So what are the rules? Oh, actually, if I look at the quick start, player 1 places a miner in the mineshaft second spot. Player 1 removes a miner in the first spot, should be illegal.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, there are a lot of assumptions made in this quick start, right? or not?
Which ones?
That, well, that the player doesn't place it in the wrong spots on the first turn. Yeah, that's just one, just one assumption. Okay.
What?
No, never mind. Well, I have a question about the game. So
Yeah.
Second turn, I'm gonna place a second miner.
Mm-hmm.
Can I only put it on the second position, or can I also put 2 miners on the same position?
You can put 2 miners in the same position. Yeah.
Okay. A player can place a second miner on the first or second position.
Yeah.
Position 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. No, that sounds correct. Yeah.
But that's gonna turn out very verbose very fast. No, like the third player fourth move can only be on, on position 5 or 4.
Yeah.
Or if he has a miner on position 3, it can be on.
Yeah, maybe we can extract a better rule once we've come to our refactoring step.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I would still write this out as if it were a new test.
Yeah. So this is okay in this stage.
Yeah, for me it is. Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna add a different player, Hank. And Hank is first gonna put it on position 1.
I wonder why you changed the player name now.
Why not? It should still be the same thing.
Yeah, so to me it's if it's Henk or if it's Boris, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, exactly. So what if our tests rely on it being Boris? It's bad.
Ah, yeah, okay. But if that's the case you want to test, then I would write something that randomizes the name or something.
Okay.
And make it explicit that we don't care about the name.
Okay.
But I would keep it Boris for now, because then later we will be able to do a nice extract method.
Okay. Okay. So we put a miner at the. Actually, I can just make it a. I don't know why double click doesn't work at all, but it doesn't.
Oh, oui.
Okay. So first we put one at position 2, and then the second one we place another one at position 1, and then we're gonna assert that the event stream contains 2 miners placed. How can I check this?
For that, I think you'll want the contains exactly, because contains exactly does check order, and I think it's important that we do check the order of the events. Huh? So instead of dot contains, we should write dot contains exactly.
I did that, but it
Yeah.
just derped out.
Ah, yeah.
I exactly came here for some reason.
Ah, oui.
Okay. It's a little derpy, the connection thing, but it works most of the time.
Mm.
I'm too fast for TCP, dude.
Oh.
Okay, but I don't know how to do this, because how can I check that this exists 2 times in the event stream? I would have to write. So what do we have?
So every time you add something, an event gets put on the event stream, and the event stream is just a list basically. So if you check contains exactly, you're going to check the contents of that list.
So I need to find a list with 2 miner placed.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm just waiting for the code completion to arrive here.
But you've already written it, huh?
Wait a second. Okay. So it contains but how do I define a list? And so I need to do like, I don't know how to.
Ah, no. This takes a variable arguments parameter, so you can keep on adding multiple miner placed objects.
Okay. So it's just a miner placed Boris at position. Come on. At position 1, and then so like this I can just.
Yeah.
That's not a list.
Ah, yeah, no. So the way a search works is it is able to understand that event stream is in fact a list, and that's why you get the dot contains exactly as a method or as a function on the result of assert that. And then what it will do is it will check the list for, I think, 2 occurrences of miner placed Boris at mineshaft position 1.
Okay, so should we check if the test fails if we enter something random first, or?
Well, our test should fail now, I think, just to make sure that it's a good test in any case.
Oh.
So if it doesn't fail, then either we've written a bad test, or...
Right, we didn't... yeah, sure. Okay, but we're still not done with the tests, because now we need to place a miner. Actually, we should...
Yeah?
I don't know. At position 2.
Yeah.
And then we assert that... Well, actually, I want to remove this miner.
Ah, yeah?
Go back to the original state, and then place the second miner on position 2. That's what I also want to test.
Ah, maybe that we can write in a different test then, because we don't have a remove miner yet.
Yeah.
So let's just set it up as a separate test then.
What I could do is just define a different...
That you can do as well, yeah. Yeah, nee. And you'll see, it's okay.
So we're gonna do exactly the same.
Yeah.
But this will all be Magnum Sal 2.
Yeah.
God damn it. Oh my god, this is... it's automatically putting the code and aligning the code and all that stuff. And there's the cursor is just jumping while I'm typing and putting characters in the most random position.
Oui.
It's a little bit...
That's annoying, yeah.
But, okay. So we're gonna assert that event stream number 2 contains Boris at position 1 and Boris at position 2.
Yeah.
Boom, that's our second test.
Yeah.
So newborn add 1.2. Well, that's not explicit.
But
New game.
yeah.
At +1, then +2. And this is also a new game at +1 and then +1.
Yeah. Can you see how the second comment starts a new test?
Yeah, but because I named this like that.
Yeah.
So
You
I should
rename it and put it into its own test. Allee.
A player can place a second miner on +2.
Yes, that's exactly.
Okay, and then this is just on position 1.
Yeah.
Easy. Now I can rename all my things again. But this is dumb.
Yeah, that you can use the rename functionality for.
True, yeah, okay. But
And
this is very verbose and
now you can also remove the comments.
yeah, because that's actually this.
Yeah. But it's
Okay.
good because now you've written 2 tests. So I'll run the tests.
Yes.
Okay. I've run all of them, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, now we've got 2 failures.
Yeah.
The first one where we expect a second miner on position 1 fails because why is that? There's no player added. That's why we've come across the contains exactly. That's that thing again. And the second test fails for the same reason. So player added was not there. And there's 2 miner placed with 1. And some elements were not found. Miner placed Boris with position 2.
I don't really understand it actually. I can't really understand this.
The output. Yeah.
So expecting an array of player added, then miner placed position 1, then
Yeah.
miner placed position 1. But why is it?
Yeah, it's very verbose, so that you can choose how you can interpret it, basically. So what it says is expecting, and then the output of the entire event stream is what we got there first. And then we say to contain exactly and in the same order, and that's what we've got in our contains exactly thing. And then it says, but some elements were not found. So you've expected something to contain, but it's not there. And others were not expected. So one was player added.
The event stream.
Yeah.
But how?
So now we've got 2 options. Either we do contains exactly and add the player added. That will fix that all for sure.
Yeah.
Or we can just remove the add player because it doesn't even take part in our setup for placing a miner. And we don't have a validation rule that says you first need to have a player added before this player can place miners.
Yeah, but that should be there.
Why?
Because you need a player to have to place a miner.
Yeah, but in that case, we need to write a test for that, huh?
Test, huh?
Huh?
Okay, yeah. So.
Yeah, okay. That's something new. But wait, before we continue with this, because now we've got 2 failing tests, and I think we should try to get those green before we add the new feature of not being able to place a miner if you didn't add the player yet.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm just scared that I'll forget.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Then we can write the test already, and then put to do to be implemented or something.
Well, actually, I'm thinking about a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
Like when placing a miner, it has to be the current player's turn.
Yeah, but that one we've decided we won't implement, huh?
Because we only have 1 player.
Because we only have 1 player, yeah.
To do?
Yeah.
Implement me.
Implement me.
Oh my god. Hey, do you mind if I take 2 minutes to just get some water?
No worries, I will do the same.
Cool.
All right, see you in a bit, huh?
Yes. I'll be back.
Yo. I will also be right back.
I'm back. Okay. What?
All right, you're back.
So derpy this Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, what's happening with the it's formatting?
Yeah, I'm doing some formatting.
How is this event stream different from just a list?
It's not. In our implementation, at least, it's not. Good question.
Thank you. I feel like I have way more questions than
Yeah, I mean, now I think what we're doing is we're focusing on just trying to write proper unit tests, and then also learning a bit on how, what the peculiarities are when working with event sourcing. So how this event stream is backed, it doesn't really matter all that much.
Well, for me, it's Kotlin is new, test driven is new, and stream is new. So.
The Kotlin you don't seem to be having much issues with. And then the test driven, I think you've already shown that since you wrote the before placing a miner, a player has to exist unit test, that so that how do you say, that intuition that you wanted to write a test so that you didn't forget about it is pretty good already.
Yeah. Well, usually, I would do it. I would always do this. but I would just write a comment, like write this code. And then
Yeah. 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 But now we've got a failing test for it, in fact. So if you run the tests, then you'll get a to-do implement me as well.
still can't run the test.
Ah, that's too bad. Fucking hell.
Well, just to be sure, I run the tests by hitting rerun tests or on the top on the green arrow. Select test and then.
Yeah, you can just click on.
I'm wrong because there's an elephant in front of there, so he's gonna try to do it with Gradle.
Ah.
Okay, but if I select like the.
But that's okay, yeah. If it runs it with Gradle, then.
No, it does nothing.
Ah.
But if I hit it with the two little arrows, red arrow, green arrow, it also does nothing if I run it. Control F. Just does nothing.
Maybe that we can figure out later or something.
Yeah, because I can build, you see.
Yeah.
Wait, is the build doing? Okay, I lost the tests now. My tests are gone.
Oei. The result, you mean, or?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
What the fuck? Sorry, can you run the tests again?
Yeah.
Okay, now there it is. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So now we've got two failing tests. One for the to-do and one for the bottom test where it should be able to place a second miner on position 2.
I only have one failing test there.
Huh.
Yeah, the first one succeeds, no?
Yeah, the one with where you place a second miner on position 1 works.
Yeah.
But we knew that already, that it was going to work, in fact.
Because it's always added to position 1.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, okay. Yeah, it's always added to position 1. So,
So now we're in our implementation on place miner. We can't just check if the current position that you're trying to add is position 1, because that's not good enough.
no.
And now we need some way to check where the miners on the mineshaft are.
Okay, wait. So can I pull something from the event stream?
Yes, you can.
Is it not pull?
It's
Oh, here. So
it's not pull, but there is a way to find. Well, hang on now. That is.
Is there a way for me to check some documentation where I can just see all the methods that exist?
Yeah, I think the most interesting methods you'll find in the event stream class itself. So if you open event stream, the class, then you'll see that on line 13 and 14 there are two interesting functions declared there. Because the event stream class itself, you can see that it's just a simple data class again, and it's backed by an event list. And by immutable events. That's really what it says, huh? But then those functions, called last event or null, and filter events are going to be interesting functions to use.
But dude, did you say that the whole point of Kotlin was to not have null and not have mutable data?
Yeah.
Because now we have mutable stuff and we have null.
Where's the mutable stuff?
Well, we created a mutable list here.
Yeah. But so what we do there is to initialize it. We want our events to be mutable within the event stream itself. So it's a private there. Huh? That's just for ease of implementation, really. Because if you want to mutate a list, then and you want it to remain immutable, then what you'll need to do is you'll need to create a regular list, then temporarily make it mutable, add something to it, and then output it again as an immutable list.
Wow.
Yeah. For ease of for a little bit more ease, let's say, we've said that, well, underscore events internally is a mutable list of events. But if you look at line 6, it will say that event stream is in fact a list, so immutable, and it's backed by underscore events. So that's what it's saying. So you can't just add stuff on the event stream class itself. You'll need to use the push function for that.
Oh, there's our push function.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not even okay, I thought that was coming from okay, wait, what? I'm very confused again. So event stream is just a class that we made ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
A thing externally that
no.
It's just a concept.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And it's just backed by, yeah, a list. But then, and then what happens are those extension functions called last event or null and filter events. And both of these are going to be very useful to use, for example, in our current predicament where we want to check for something.
Yeah.
So last event or null just takes the last one, huh? I guess it's fine for now. Yeah.
But type inference failed. So, oh wait, I have to say. Oh, I have to say that it's an event stream, or no?
No. So last event is going to be some kind of an event.
Oh.
And what last event expects is for you to pass along some kind of event type so that you immediately get the right one.
So a Magnum Sal event, or?
Yeah, Magnum Sal event is all of the events. But I think we want the last minor placed event probably then, if you want the last one. So the way you do that is not by passing it in those normal braces, but you add angular brackets in front of that last event or null, and you put your class type there.
It's weird as hell, man.
How is it not compiling now, though? That's kind of weird. Or what we also could do, I guess, is define that this is a minor placed event.
Well, that's what I tried.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, because it's nullable.
Yes.
Problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the way that Kotlin deals with that nullable factor. So in Java, if you didn't place the question mark, you wouldn't know whether the last event was null or not. Now Kotlin tells you, yo, this last event, it can be null, so you need to deal with that appropriately.
So okay, so let me just write some. So if it is null, right?
Yeah.
Then we want to put it at position 1.
Yes, then we want to force it. Yeah.
Force it on position 1.
Yeah.
Else, we want to push it on position 1 or 2. If the wait, let me think. Wait, because this doesn't matter anymore.
No, yeah, that we're going to replace that.
So yeah, we're just gonna check if there was a move before.
Yeah.
And if there was, yeah, we force it on 1, and otherwise we just want to put it at the position.
Yes.
Now we should, according to our test, we should check if it's 1 or 2.
Yeah. What do you mean 1 or 2?
Well, because according to our test, we can only place it on position 1 or position 2.
Yeah, but we don't have a failing test that if you put it at position 3, that it doesn't work.
It doesn't. Okay. Wait, but how do I get this position? Oh man.
You can just refer to it in the else branch. So you can just use this pos and then dunsies.
Right. Oh, Jesus. That's easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's test.
Let's run the tests. Yeah. Okay. Yay! It's running.
All right.
Okay, so we've implemented our test, eh?
Yeah.
And I mean, the functionality is there, I should say. So now I think now's a good time to add the before placing a miner, a player has to exist.
Yeah.
But really, just for to gain some time, I think we can just really ignore this.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
I don't really care all that much about that, because it's not going to be as much of an interesting use case, let's say. Yeah. But what I do want to do is I want to clean up our tests a bit, because there's a lot of duplicate code there. For example, all of the tests have an event stream, a Magnum Sal setup, and then an add player. And we can keep the add player if you want. What do you think?
We keep repeating it, you mean?
Yeah, so the thing that's duplicate is all of this.
Yes.
In every test, it's the same thing.
Yep.
So we can extract it into a method that sets up our Magnum Sal, and we'll call that game with 1 player. And then IntelliJ is going to suggest that, hey, there's 3 code fragments that can be replaced, and I want to replace them.
Right.
Replace all of them. And now we've already cleaned up our tests a bit, eh?
Very nice.
Very nice. And it's cool because it uses destructuring to both assign event stream and the Magnum Sal thing.
That's hot.
Yeah. So this is sort of like how Elm does that as well, huh?
Yep.
And I guess also TypeScript. It's just destructuring.
Very nice.
So now that that's cleaned up a bit, we can, yeah, maybe not. Yeah, so the next test would be if you place a miner on position 3 as a second miner, it shouldn't work anymore.
One sec, we forgot one.
Yeah, which one?
The player can be added. Okay, that's good. Right?
Ah, oh fuck. It changed it. Oh, then our tests would have failed.
Because
so,
the player was
yeah.
Snarf here.
It was
so
Snarf, yeah. Ah,
okay.
Damn. So it did. Okay, that's interesting. Ah, yeah. So now the next thing is we define our player when we do place miner. So I don't really like that game with 1 player contains the magic string that is Boris.
Yeah.
So I'd rather pass that along with the game with 1 player function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going down to game with 1 player, and I'm going to make that into a parameter. Call that player name. And then now all of the functions have changed to use Boris.
It actually says, there's a highlight. Actual value of parameter player name
is always Boris.
It's
There I fixed it. Now it's not always Boris. So
okay.
all right. But yeah, so the next test would be if a player cannot place a second miner on position 3, huh?
Yeah.
This is again to adhere to the chain rule. So
Yes.
if we were to do that, then what do you expect to happen?
I guess throw an exception.
Now you would throw an exception.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to properly do it. I would expect a user message to exist. Like, this is not a valid move.
Well,
And he has to
that's
again.
so that's interesting to me, because the first time we encountered this rule is when we added our second miner on when we first added our first miner actually on position 2, because then we decided we've got a rule on line number 27 that says a player's first miner placement is forced to position 1.
Yes.
But really, what you do is you recognize that adding it to position 2 forces it to be placed in position 1 instead of reporting the error, I mean. Huh?
Yeah, but there's a difference because
Okay.
first move, you only have one valid option. But in this case, you can either put it, you have different options, right?
Do you?
You can place it on position 1 or position 2.
Yeah, the same spot or position.
So if
2.
you put it on position 3, if the game forces you to put it on position 2, that's not good, I would say.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand what you mean now.
You actually have the option as a player to, to put it somewhere else.
Okay.
Where in the first case, it had to be put on position 1, so we can just force it. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think you are. So that's not correct.
I don't know if we should go into.
Yeah, the thing that I thought I recognized that they are both the same because they're both illegal moves.
Yeah.
But you're right in that, your first move, let's say, you only have one option, which is to, put it on position 1, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. We could even automate that in the game.
Yeah, but I don't like it because I'd rather have like one way of dealing with illegal moves. And if you consider the first thing to be an illegal move, that keeps it simple as well. Huh?
Yep.
So, let's continue with what we have, I think. And then let's imagine a player cannot place a second miner on position 3 then. Then we want it to explode, basically, yeah?
Yeah.
So in that case, we can do assert that.
But, okay, so just imagine now, right, that we start to expand our code and we keep track of a game state.
Yeah.
So the game knows whose turn it is, how many players there are, etc.
Yeah.
So then we want to write more logic. And in this case, we would say, okay, instead of going to the next turn, because you did an illegal move, you have to go back to your turn. But then we have to implement this logic in all our tests. So if we expand our code just a little bit with this concept, for example, of game state, we have to write all our tests again and expand them all and take this into consideration.
Yeah, you mean you're saying every time you want to test a specific game state, like you've got an initial game state and you want to test one action on that game state, you have to set it up by adding or by performing those actions, is what you're saying. And that's not very good, I guess, because it like most of your unit test will end up being set up and then the actual event happening and then your assertion. And it will become unmanageable. Yeah. So that's completely correct what you're saying. But for that, there are some patterns that you can use. For example, test builders, which you just say to, I want a game that is set up in this kind of state.
Okay.
And then what you do is you basically just extract all of that logic into that builder so that it gets set up that way with events though. The other thing you could do, since it's completely event-based, is you could make something that records events. And that you can then say, okay, just persist all of the events that happened up until now, and then mark it as this is the kind of game state that you have right now. And then you can just replay all of those events, that bundle of events, to have that game state.
Interesting.
Yeah. Quite interesting indeed. But it is a bit of a downside though, because you do have to perform all of the actions, or really make sure that all of the events are in there, because we're setting up, or we're basically evaluating our game state based on all of the events in the event stream, and not just one snapshot of the game board. That's correct. Yeah. So that makes it a bit more difficult, huh?
Exactly. Because if we have a complex situation, we have to check our event stream to contain maybe 200 events in a row and see if that... Yeah.
But that's where the recording comes in, I think. But there's also a benefit that it gives us, because you can make sure that whatever game state you're in, it is going to be a valid game state. It's very easy to construct a Magnum Sal game board with an invalid game state.
Right.
Like where miners are in illegal positions, or stuff like that. So if you... Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's neat, eh? Now, you can still, if you forge your own event stream, you can still circumvent all of that. So the real way to make sure that you've got a valid game state is by always calling the actual methods to construct it, or to progress your game. So, for example, adding players, placing miners, by calling magnumsal.addPlayer and magnumsal.placeMiner. Whether or not you're keeping the game state in an event stream, or you're just keeping it as a hard-coded state within Magnum Sal, it doesn't matter, as long as you're using the actual functions on Magnum Sal itself. You can make sure that your game state is valid at any point in time, because you're using the actual functions there.
Yes.
Yeah. But it will become a bit easier to manage if you've got an event stream, let's say, that just represents a specific state.
Yes.
Cool. What else was... I was going to suggest something. Doe me toch.
Sorry. I think this 1 hour kata is going to turn into a week marathon.
No, I think it's quite okay, but with our current implementation, I can think of a test that will break our implementation.
Great.
Because we've used last event or null. So if we just... I guess it shouldn't be possible, but if we do add player after we've done add place miner, then it will already not work.
But
that's not true. We're doing last event or null, I guess. Yeah.
Huh? But we were gonna add a check to see if a player exists first, right?
I thought we were going to skip that because it's not interesting for...
We're gonna skip it, but we can assume that...
Yeah. Okay. So we can assume that we've got some validation checks on adding players, etc. But even so, checking the last event is yeah.
Bad?
No, it's going to work, I think.
Well, what
Yeah.
else could we do?
I guess.
Oh, actually, okay. So I think I understand what you're saying, because if we place a miner and then we do another event, a random event, then it's not the last event anymore.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, but it will be the last miner placed event, because that's just how last event or null works.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Because what it will do is it will do last or null of which the it conforms to type T, and that's like the generified thing. So
That's this one, yeah.
So even if you have no events, no miner placed events, it will be null.
Yeah.
And in that case, your miner placement will be forced to position 1.
Yep.
That's what it will say. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I think then we can just continue on with the next test, the one that we were writing already, which is a player cannot place a second miner on position 3.
Yes.
We
were deciding what we're gonna do with this. Should we throw an exception or?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to throw an exception because you've convinced me that it's a different it's a different case, huh? Because now you have multiple options, like you said. So now we'll do assert at thrown by with this as our closure, and then we can check as message or something. Illegal or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
And then this should what we should still do is verify that the event stream has remained unchanged. So our event stream, because we don't want to first add something and then throw the exception.
True.
So we can do this. We'll just copy that from over there and then say this should be the last state.
Yeah.
Okay, now if we run this, it should fail, telling us, hey, I expected an exception, but there wasn't any thrown exactly. So then what we'll do is, how do you want to do that then?
Okay, because, so else, so if the last event was nothing, it has to be forced at position 1. If it was,
so that's else if.
If the last event was, how do they equals miner placed.
Yeah.
At player name. How can I do this? Wait, I'm very confused again.
So yeah, if you want to compare the miner placed event with one that you construct yourself, then you should do it like this. That's correct. Okay. So basically what you're doing now is you're like doing an extra filter, let's say, that the last event should be a miner placed of the same player that is now trying to place another miner.
Yes.
And that its shaft position is at something. I don't know what you want to write here.
Me neither. Fucking hell. Okay. So if it was... Okay, so I need to get the last position. And then see if the new one is maximum 1 bigger.
Yeah.
No, actually that's also not correct. Fuck, because if you placed one in position 1, then you placed one in position 2, Then the third one you place at position 1. Then the fourth one needs to be able to be placed on position 3. Wait, are you following?
Yeah, but we could more easily write a test for that as well.
Yes. Let me just do something.
We could just expand the test that we have, in fact.
Okay.
Huh? Because what you say is to like, oh yeah, maybe then that will be a legal test. So that would be, maybe we can just expand. I don't know. This is indeed a little bit more exhaustive. So let's just write another one.
I don't know if this is the point of the kata, but
Yeah, I think I mean, we're hitting the main thing. I think we've already checked a bit that you can read the event stream for some purpose. So that's definitely one thing that we've learned. But normally what you would have is if you continue in the kata for a bit longer, then you'll notice that you can also persist, or no, not persist, represent some actions on your event stream as state, and then use that state to do your expressions with.
yes. So we would maybe create a snapshot of this occurred state.
Yeah, a snapshot or just something that is able to express it more, and then or also.
Yeah.
And in Kotlin, what you have is you've got computed properties. So you can actually just process an event stream and then do some transformation on it. And then you have your on-the-fly, lazily calculated property when you call it.
Okay.
So, but that I think it's more easy if I just show you how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can call it quits actually then. If I show you, is that okay for you, or do you want to complete this last thing? Okay. So
I need a yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Everything sink in a little bit as well.
Yeah, I understand. How do I show you this now?
Because Elm is also new for me, so it's like 4 main new technologies in 1 week. That's plenty.
Yeah, I mean, of which one you already expanded on yourself, which is LMUI, so that's already quite impressive. And then this you're doing quite okay with, I think. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it might feel like you're learning a lot, that it becomes unmanageable in your head. But
well, that's where sleep comes in.
Yeah, exactly. but also I think you're dealing with it quite well as well. I mean, you could also just feel overwhelmed by it and not be able to come up with a solution, for example. But that's not the case for you.
Okay.
You just seem to deal with it fine and then write something that's working. So
Cool.
I would say that you're managing quite well with it. I mean,
cool.
So don't talk yourself down. You're doing fine, I think.
Well, it's just a bit of a mixed bag between feeling really excited to learn a bunch of new stuff and also feeling like an idiot.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of both. But that's IT life for you, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think if you stop learning for 1 month, then you're back at square one.
That's painfully true. Painfully true indeed. I wonder if I now just switch to a different branch, if you can also just see that.
I think so, because I think I already saw some right in the beginning. I think I saw you swap branch.
Yeah, okay.
The files disappeared.
Can I check out or something like that? I'm
Yeah,
trying to do
because
it
there are-
with
Sorry.
with the what's it called? Yeah, I think I'm managing. Okay. I was trying to do it with the in presentation mode, and I think I found it
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
So, your local changes to the following files would be overwritten. Can shelve, check out, and unshelve them. So what I want to do is I want to check those out, but I don't want to unshelve, if that makes sense. So I guess I want to do force checkout, which will just override my local changes.
Ooh, that's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, indeed. So there's a bunch of extra stuff as well here, where I used some JSON stuff to serialize those events to a file, so that I can then import that file or like read that file and read it as an event stream. So that I've got like a different kata where you need to do an event migration, which is quite difficult, but that's for another time probably.
Dude, I have something else here that's kind of weird. When I open these files, it takes sometimes 3-4 seconds before my colors appear.
I had the same thing. I think that's just at some point IntelliJ needs to recognize like, there's a new Gradle file. It's got some new dependencies for Jackson, for example. So it needed to fetch those dependencies and then recompile everything, and then now it's there. What did I want to show actually? I wanted to show how in the Magnum Sal event, maybe can you follow my cursor? Is that the thing or?
I think if you're in a file, but I don't know which file you're in.
I am in. That's a good question. Which file I am in? I am in Magnum Sal itself.
Okay. Yeah, now I can.
So up top, there's Magnum Sal event, which now consists out of a bunch of different events. But there are other things that are more interesting, like for example, the turn order rule, or maybe the chain rule that will make a little bit more sense.
Wait, when did you do all this? Did you do this before, or was
Yeah,
it like
yeah.
this week?
No. I did this. I've streamed this a couple of times, which you can rewatch on YouTube. So you can see me struggle doing this.
Okay.
I think the last commit I've done to this was a year ago, like almost exactly a year ago.
I thought you were new to the event stream thing, but you already familiar with it.
I really wouldn't say I'm familiar with event stream, because after I played around with this own kata, let's say, I talked with some colleagues about this, and I gained a lot of new insights. In fact, like apparently there's a distinction between business events or domain events and actual events used to replay into an aggregate.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm just saying that there's some way of distinction, and it's important that you know the difference when you process these things. In fact, but that's also something for another time. But really, what I wanted to show, if I don't know if you can see my cursor now, but I'm on line 77 of the Magnum Sal file. Yeah. Okay. And here you can see, so I've declared a variable or like a field of Magnum Sal itself called chain rule. But chain rule itself is initialized using the event stream. And if we go deeper into chain rule, maybe it's easier if we look at how it's used. yeah, fuck, which ends up being a little bit more difficult to explain, I'm afraid. But in any case, it's got a method called without breaking the chain.
Yes.
And the without breaking the chain accepts a minor movement, which is a specific thing. So either a minor movement is either you remove a minor or you place a minor, and it's according to a player and then a position in the mine.
Wait, you place or remove it? They can't move from position 1 to position 2. Is this like Dungeon Keeper?
That would still... is that minor movement? Can you move that? I guess you can, but I think what I do there is I do a combination of remove and place. Maybe. Okay. I'm not sure anymore, in fact. I'm just not sure.
All right.
But or I haven't implemented it yet. That could also be so this is not finished. That's also like a good PSA. Okay. But so if you use the way the chain rule is used, is basically you apply or you try to apply minor movement, but you do that without breaking the chain. And without breaking the chain, if you go to the implementation of that, then here what we do is we check what kind of movement is it. If it's placing a minor, then placing a minor does not break the chain. That's like the function there. And what we do there is we check whether the minor, so the minor's position, is the top. So that's just like, is it position at 1? But also, is there a minor at and then the previous position?
All right, yeah, okay.
And then if you look at, is there a minor at, it will check whether that position that you pass along, so at previous, is in mine occupation. And mine occupation happens to be also a property of the chain rule itself. And here is where you can see how I use the event stream to lazily construct that mine occupation thing and then initialize a miners class, which is like a helper thing, to check whether that is or like it will return like a miners thing for that position. So this is an example of how I use the event stream to first construct another object called miners, to then use that same object to check if there's a miner at some position. You see?
You lost me completely at this part. The other was okay.
So if we let's let's just deconstruct it a little bit then. Yeah. So in the miners.from event stream, what that will do is it will create a miners object or a class.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, class miners has what? It has a list of miners, and miner is another class, Yeah. But you can see that I can create this miners object from an event stream. And what I do here is I build up state. So I rebuild miners state based on the event stream. And here you can see how the event stream is used to recreate a miners object. So basically what I'm doing there is I'm sort of replaying all of the events by just searching and mapping, etc. to create a miner.
Why? Why do you have this? Why do you have this extra class rebuilding from an event stream to turn it back into an event stream? That's just weird.
It's not to turn it back into an event stream.
Because isn't that what happens here? Oh no, you create the miner.
Wait, I've lost. Yeah, there, yeah.
Stream. and then that's the mine occupation. So then you know where the miners are at.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So this is just class or object,
Object oriented.
just so you can actually check the positions.
Mm-hmm. But
Because why can't you just infer it from the event stream?
yeah, you can, but I decided to make it more explicit and wrap it in a miners class.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think what hopefully I do that is I either have a bunch of unit tests that now check how miners are represented, because it's a recurring concept within the game, because I need it in my chain rule, but I also need it in my Magnum Sal game. I also need it in my transport chain. So because I learned, and that's really what I wanted to explore with this kata in its entirety, is if we write code, every time when we try to code, either it's by doing test-driven development or just because of our imagination, or we read words, we think, I need a class for this, and I'm going to put all of this behavior in this class. And the moment you have that class, it starts to become a magnet for features. Okay. So you're like, okay, I've got this class now, and I know that I have it, so let's put this new behavior also in that class, when it doesn't necessarily need to be there, you know? Sure. And the thing I was exploring by doing this kata is, how long can I postpone creating classes and just depend on purely the event stream? Because as long as I've got the event stream and its mapping functions, I have no need for classes, just like you indicated just now. So the only time I extracted this miners class is when I recognized that there was in fact a duplication in concept, and I extracted that class, I rebuilt it from the event stream, and from then on, that miners object has delivered some value, and it's got a reason to be there.
Okay, yeah.
You get it?
Yes.
So that was like a really, really cool revelation to me, like how powerful keeping just domain events is. Because the other really cool thing about this is, if I happen to be wrong about I continue coding or whatever, and I happen to discover that I don't really need miners, I need something more specific or something different, and I recognize that concept at that time, then I can just throw away miners and recreate this new object that makes more sense, also based on the event stream, and refactor it that way, and everything should still keep on working. How cool is that? Yeah. I think that is so fucking cool, eh? Yeah, that was the biggest revelation, and so I also felt like I have learned all there is to learn about it, but in fact, I also quit basically during like a very difficult implementation. I already forgot where I was at in this.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a year ago, I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe
is Kotlin actually something completely else, but is this actually a functional programming language, or are we just programming in a very functional way here?
Yeah, the latter, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it better? It's just cleaner.
Well, that's a preference, just preference, I think. I like the more functional approach to it, because you can be way more expressive, and you can do it in a shorter notation as well. You can do this in Java as well, but it's going to read for forever.
Yeah.
Man, so that's why Kotlin is really cool functionally. Maybe I was trying to show where I I use the
rebuilt
the event stream directly a bit.
Okay.
Ah yeah, for example, in again in Magnum Sal on line 80, there is a very clear thing I use called zloty per player. And yeah, guess what that thing is used for? It's just an account system basically, to figure out how many zloty a player has. So that's like a much simpler way to... I should have shown that actually instead of the more difficult miners class, I guess.
So you just filter out all the events from the event stream that are payments?
Yeah.
And then... what is this? Fold?
Is it reduce? You know, reduce probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So fold is reduce with an accumulator, and reduce is without an accumulator, basically.
Okay, so you just want to see... oh, yeah. Okay, so you go through all the events that were payments, and then you kind of build up the balance for every player.
Yeah.
And you store it in this class, zloty per player.
Yeah, and if I coded this correctly, it should have a class as well. Shit, and I didn't, of course. So I expected there to be a zloty per player test, but apparently there isn't.
Yeah, it's not there.
Maybe,
or maybe it is an what do you have here?
Ah, no. There's literally no test for this.
I thought we were gonna do test driven.
Yeah, I think I might have reasoned that this is just a utility class that gets used in like some other part. Like if you check the usages, the zloty per player thing is used in Magnum Sal, and then if you check, it's used in zloty for player function, and that thing is used in use pump house. So for use pump house, there are going to be tests.
Okay, but
yeah.
So how? That's another thing. How do you decide what is important enough to write tests for?
So then we come to the style of doing TDD, and there are two main styles. One is outside in TDD, and the other one is, guess what? Inside out TDD. So with outside in TDD, I this is like my preferred style of writing unit tests, because what it tells you is you'll start from like the actual thing or main big feature that you're trying to develop, and then you just write a test for that, like at the outer level, and then you just write a test as if it's going to work. So it's like a wishful thinking test-driven developer where you mock everything maybe. But once you have that, you understand why it's there, and then you can start implementing the smaller blocks. And then once you have that, and you can choose, either you write smaller unit tests for those smaller blocks, or you don't, and you just expect your main test to run in a more integrated way, let's say. So without any mocks, but real domain classes, for example. And that's, I think, the style that I chose for this experiment, basically. Which is really cool, because you're really testing the end behavior, the using the pump house, for example. Now, as you just noticed, my instinct told me, let's check what the tests are for the zloty per player class that shows how it works, what the behaviors are that you get with this. So that's definitely like a failure, I think, from my part. Because now I have to distill how it works by looking at the use pump house functionality.
Because, I can see now that to understand this code, I I have to think less because I can just read in the tests everything that it's supposed to do,
Mm-hmm.
even just in the descriptions of all the functions.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to understand everything that this code does by just looking at the descriptions
Yeah.
of each test.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you cannot add 2 players with the same color. You cannot add a 5th player,
Yeah.
etc.
By the way, if you do Control F12 in the Magnum Sal test,
Yeah. Well, it's
and
gonna be a different shortcut for me.
yeah, god damn it.
Well, what does it do?
It basically lists all the methods. What would it be called? Yeah, dang. I don't know what it's called. This maybe.
Oh, it's the
Shoot off.
project, the structure tab. No.
No, it's not the structure tab.
Let me send you a screenshot. Oh, you know, yeah.
Doe me nou.
Doing it.
Yeah, that's really annoying. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there you can see it as well, indeed. So if you open the structure thing, then you also get it.
You can actually see the whole thing.
Yeah, can you also type there? Yeah, using the pump house, for example, if you open that, you can just read how using the pump house should work. And one of the things in there is cannot use the pump house when they do not have enough zloty.
Yes.
So that is one of the use cases of our zloty per player thing, in fact. But I haven't tested it separately, which is quite annoying.
Yeah. Okay, but that's actually a really cool thing about these tests, because usually when I look at my colleagues' code, I just gotta go kind of line by line and understand what's happening, and even manually debug if everything is happening the way it should, line per line. So that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
We're just on very short, small projects, so it's still kind of, it works.
Yeah.
But I actually really like this.
Yeah. But here you can also see the example of that test builder pattern I told you about. Because in a player cannot use a pump house when they do not have enough zloty. I'm setting up a test Magnum Sal based on that event stream, because I want to evaluate the event stream later. And I say I only want mine chamber tiles of, and then like a specific thing with water cubes on it, okay, whatever. But then I also say I want players, Bruno using white, Tim using black, and then with the player white having only one zloty. You see? So then behind the scenes, all of that thing is calling actual functions on the Magnum Sal game, so that it'll have correct state setup.
Okay.
And
wait, on the event stream, you mean?
Yeah, basically on the event stream, but also for Magnum Sal. So it makes sure that we can only have a valid state there. You see?
What is Magnum Sal? Is that a class then, or?
Yeah, Magnum Sal is the one we've been working on as well in our kata, huh? Remember?
Yeah. Oh wait, this is a class which takes an event stream.
Yeah. Just like in our example, huh? the one that we've been building.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit confused on where the event stream comes in, but it's okay. I'll get it.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, or maybe I should ask it like this. No, it's a little weird, because you got your. Okay, so when we run this program, where does it exist? Is it based purely off an event stream, or is it all, like I can't even explain.
Yeah, so the cool thing, I'm putting cool between quotes here, is that it doesn't have a production environment, this this code base. So it only exists in tests for now. But you could easily just run it in a production system somewhere.
You can't run this.
Yeah, no, there you can't. The only way you can run, there's no visual way. Well, actually there is, but there's no UI for this, for example.
Right.
It's just backend. That's it. Yeah. So in that case, it's sort of useless. But I mean, it's still a kata. It's not supposed to be a real implementation. Huh? I mean, how do you say that? Like, we're not focusing on building features, let's say. Eh?
Yeah.
That's not the goal of this kata.
Yeah.
So it's okay that it doesn't have any way of being represented, or but in fact it has a way of representing, because somewhere in, I think I've built some visualization functions on how to visualize the current state of a Magnum Sal board. So that's just another projection, really, of the mineshaft, let's say. I think I've used some ASCII art there. I don't remember. But that's just another thing you can do, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's it, really.
Okay. Well, okay. So next time, I guess.
Yeah.
There are a couple of things, huh? So either we can say, okay, we can start building some implementation in our Scrambled project.
Yes. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Or maybe we should first kind of figure out still which features we're gonna build.
Yeah, I think for Scrambled, I think we might need to just decide on one of these options to store our event stream, whether that be Postgres, which actually looks the simplest thing for now, because then we only have one, how do you say that, like one infrastructure dependency, which sounds nice to me. And I mean, I think I'm quite sure that we can get away with it.
Okay.
But the other thing that we might miss out on is event stream processing, like reloading events from a certain point, and etc., etc. It requires some how do I explain this? Basically just using an event stream and replaying events and all of that stuff that you need to do for infrastructure reasons. It's already going to be there if we use Event Store, the implementation, because it will have an implementation, you know, and it will have an SDK, etc. I think, I'm not really sure, but that could be one of the pro arguments of using Event Store as our event persistence mechanism. Now, if there isn't, then we might as well use Postgres. Or if we say, well, fetching those things is quite easy, and it's not that hard to write all of that stuff ourselves, then we can just do that and keep it simple and have one less of an infrastructure dependency, which is also quite interesting. But see, we need to think about this, like, what thing are we going to use?
Well, I'm not sure if I can actually really say anything sensible.
Yeah, I think.
Weigh in on that.
No, I think you can, because really it's just trying to make common sense out of it. It's just outweighing the pros and the cons of our different options that we have, and then.
for me, I mean, with what you said now, I would totally go for something that kind of manages building those events for us and stuff, like the event stream thing.
Yeah. So really,
But that's just me because it's all so new. I would like when I would start in this project, if I had to decide for myself,
yeah.
I would. I already have so many new things that I would try to reduce the other
That's
new things that you have to do yourself to a minimum.
for sure. Yeah. But
But I mean, if you're more comfortable with stuff, that's that's doesn't matter
no, but
anymore.
using Event Store, it comes with a price as well. It's like we've talked about this before, like where you use a library like allez, which one is it? Oh, fucking hell. Like Next.js maybe?
Yeah.
Where Next.js, it has a convention, and you can use this convention to help you speed up quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
But the moment that you need to do something a little bit different than the convention, you'll need to know everything there is to know about how Next.js works internally. And like what their reasoning was to put something in a certain folder. We will have the same thing if we use Event Store, for example. Right?
But, I mean, okay, but do you think our use case is going to be, because we're going to build a pretty standard tool?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how likely is it that we're really going to need something so
out of the ordinary
that we're going to have to manually write it?
Mm-hmm. Good point. Yeah, we can we just need to decide. Just think about it and then decide, and then
yeah, I guess, because I guess it will also matter what kind of features we will build. Like how weird or how big our application is going to get. If it's just a ladder system, let's say, then
yeah, it's quite manageable. I agree.
Yeah.
But really, that could be also an argument to put it in Postgres because it's only that simple.
Yeah.
The thing, I think we really need to just think about what advantages are we getting when we use Event Store, and what advantages or what cons do we get when we use Event Store as our event persistence mechanism. But yeah, once we've decided, then we can just choose one, and then just with the knowledge that we might need to change it with something else, just write an abstraction layer. Yeah, and then we should be golden now.
Yeah.
Bam!
Bam. I mean, it's so weird because this whole how it usually goes for me if I do a project, it's like okay, we're gonna build an app, and I just Google some stuff, so oh cool, React, oh React Native, that looks cool, and then I just bootstrap a project and start building it.
Yeah.
I just don't consider these things.
You don't.
And then next time I'm like, oh, I know, last time this React Native, this kind of sucked. I'm just gonna go for PWA, right?
Yeah.
So it's just I just swap out technologies that I didn't like.
Yeah, makes sense.
Until I find some nice thing.
Well, that was the cool part of your job, I guess, because
yeah.
you just had the freedom to do that and learn about it on the job.
Yep.
But I want to. We can do this here as well, but I want to make conscious decisions about it.
Yeah, you're very right. Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, when I started as well, is I just had zero experience, so
yeah,
I just had no idea, right? So you just in the end you you have to go for something.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
What's the difference between MySQL and PostgreSQL or MongoDB? Like, what are you gonna pick? I don't know. So
yeah,
you just go for something, and then you find out there are some downsides and some upsides.
Yeah.
While you go, and yeah, that's my career basically so far.
That also sounds like my career.
Nice.
So that's good.
That's really nice.
All right. Hey, thanks for pairing. Yeah.
Dude, the pleasure was all mine. I feel like you just shared a bunch of knowledge and skills and wisdom with a noob.
Yeah, no, anytime. I mean, that's also a bit why the stream is there for. I try to share whatever knowledge I think I have, at least, and then get corrected in chat, which is always great. Yeah.
Stack Overflow experience.
Yeah.
Personalized.
Yeah, personalized indeed. Yeah. No, it's a very healthy attitude you need to have towards getting corrected, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's why the stream is about learning for me, but also for the viewers. So I love the way it works. I really do.
Nice.
It's really cool. Yeah. All right. Voila, you got a new follower. Intercam Bioneural. Thanks for the follow.
God. Blowing up like crazy this stream.
Yes. It's all because of you.
Oh my god. If anything, I would guess that I chase away some of your viewers.
No, I don't think so. No, it's okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'll contact you later tonight, maybe to check what we're doing for. Because maybe we can play some Diabotical.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm itching to play it, so.
That's what the rest of my day looks like.
All right, nice. Are you playing in tomorrow's Diabotical District now, or not the district,
yeah.
the tournament, or have you figured out what time it is at, or?
I think it was at 3 in the afternoon, so I'm gonna start and hope I just get knocked out really fast, and then it should be fine for me.
Yeah. Oh damn! I should have made an appointment for tomorrow, but I forgot all about it. So maybe I can still play. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you later. Yeah. And maybe you can say bye to the stream as well then.
Oh yeah, stream goodbye. It was an honor to showcase my lack of skill to you guys, so thanks a lot. I hope my shameless displaying of ignorance was relatable to some.
At least it was entertaining, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Exactly. Thanks for hanging out.
See you guys. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. See you later. All right. That's also it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to post this on YouTube. It was also a learning experience for me as well. So yeah. Cool. Thanks for hanging out, and hope to see you next time. Huh? Peace!
Having this score